Namaskaram, the South Indian is here, and the South Indian is here because today particularly is very important news which has come in, and it has to do with Telangana elections. I think this must be the only national show which has concentrated on all South Indian issues and particularly Telangana elections from day one. No lip service here, just the love for South of India. You know what? It now truly feels like the Telangana elections are here. Two of the main parties and many experts are saying the only two parties have released their manifestos in the state. The Congress was the second one, while the BJP shall be the third, and perhaps I think waiting to see what others have done before it. In the Congress manifesto, the party has listed out a total of 6 guarantees. Abhaya Hastham, which it said will ensure realizing the dream of Bangaru Telangana or Golden Telangana.
इस मैनिफेस्टो तो बहुत अच्छा बना और इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए हमारे लोग तैयार हैं और मैं इतना ही आपसे कहूँगा कि जो वायदे हम किए हैं उसको उस पे कायम रखेंगे और आगे बढ़ेंगे। सबके लिए ये अच्छा होगा, इसीलिए हाथ के जो चिन्ह है हमारा, इस चिन्ह को सभी ने वोट देंगे ऐसा मेरा मानना है। और मैं यही कहूँगा कि आज विद दिस ये हमारा इलेक्शन मैनिफेस्टो जो यहाँ पर इन्होंने तैयार की, ये अभय हस्तम मैनिफेस्टो, इसको हम हमारा ये गीता समझेंगे, हमारा ये बाइबल समझेंगे, हमारा ये कुरान समझेंगे, हमारा सबके लिए ये है काम करने का।
తెలంగాణ కాంగ్రెస్ పార్టీకి ఈ ఎన్నికల మేనిఫెస్టోనే భగవద్గీత, ఈ ఎన్నికల మేనిఫెస్టోనే కాంగ్రెస్ పార్టీకి ఖురాన్, ఈ ఎన్నికల మేనిఫెస్టోనే కాంగ్రెస్ పార్టీకి బైబిల్. సర్వ మతాలకు, తెలంగాణ సమాజానికి, 4 కోట్ల ప్రజలకు ఈ హామీ పత్రాన్ని కాంగ్రెస్ పార్టీ ఇస్తుంది.
You know, if you go through the entire document, it is very clear that the Congress intends to focus on social justice and economic empowerment in its document. Imagine over 70 SOPs, 10 grams gold to eligible brides, social security for all unrecognized sector workers, including construction workers, auto, cab drivers, workers of aggregators, etc. Now, this is overall. I am only going to tell you about how does the manifesto look overall. I mean, after all, I don't have the time to kind of list every little thing, but you know, some of the salient points of the Congress manifestos are as possible: 2,500 monthly financial assistance, then gas cylinder at 500 rupees and free travel for women under the Mahalakshmi scheme, 200 units of free electricity to all the households under Grihajyoti, house site, you know, for families not owning a house, and 5 lakhs for the construction of house under the Indrama Inlu scheme, students to be given 5 lakh assistance under the Yuva Vikasam scheme, all Telangana movement fighters to be provided a 250 square yards house site, a pension of 4,000 per month will be provided to senior citizens, widows, disabled, BD workers, single women, toddy tappers, weavers, AIDS and filaria patients and kidney patients undergoing dialysis under the Chayuta scheme. 10 lakh worth of health insurance as well. What does it remind you? Yes, 6 guarantees. All the 6 guarantees that they announced sometime in September, all coming to fruition in their manifesto. Now, what are the main points of the BRS manifesto? Now, BRS manifesto, they have a first movers advantage. They were the first ones to bring out, you know, the candidates list way back. I think it was sometime in August. Congress took its time, BJP of course took more time, but the BR manifesto, I think it was in mid-October, 15th October, it's not written here, I'm saying it out of memory. It had the following: life insurance cover of 5 lakhs to over 93 lakh who are below poverty line, all the families on the lines of Raitu Bima monthly honorarium of 3,000 per eligible woman, Then under Saubhagya Lakshmi scheme, they also have increase in the Asra pension amount to old age, single women, differently abled and others. Also, Raitu Bandhu increased to 16,000 an acre in year from what is existing right now, which is 10,000. Domestic gas cylinder at 400. Building 1 lakh 2 BHK homes in Hyderabad under Gruha Lakshmi scheme. Like I said, these are only some of the main points, mind you. Sounds so similar, no? When we were children, we used to play that game, remember? Two similar pictures and we used to say, now spot the differences. That's how this is sounding like. Now, even the filaria patients, both manifestos have it. I am talking about the nitty-gritties also, after all details are also in the document. There is either an increase or a decrease by 1,000 rupees approximately between the two parties. But guess what? It matters. It matters because we are living in the era of welfare politics. No, I will not call it Revadi. As a South Indian, I refuse to call it as Revadi or freebie and all that. It's welfare politics. Yes, I can call it SOPs maybe. It's a dole, that is also insulting, but Revadi not for us South Indians. Thank you very much. What however stands out in the Congress manifesto is that it promises to abolish belt shops. You know what belt shops are? Liquor shops. And also what it claims is a better and transparent new version of the Dharani portal. The Congress is calling it Bhumata portal to cover all farmers who have been affected by Dharani. Let's now debate how Congress's manifesto compares to the one released by the Bharat Rashtra Samiti led by K. Chandrasekhar Rao. Let me introduce all the guests. Shujat Ali Sufi, official spokesperson for the TPCC, is with us. Roydin Roach, who is a Congress leader, Bhanuchandar Nagarajan, who is a political analyst, and also K.S. Prasad, who is a political analyst, is now joining us. First up, let me ask you turn by turn what you think of this. Roydin Roach, you now belong to the Congress, it's very, very clear. But when KCR Garu had released his manifesto, Revant Reddy had gone to town saying copycat, copycat, what have you done? You've only bettered on our 6 guarantees. Now that you have it, I see that a lot of it can be interchangeable with, because yours is now a detailed document, Roydin. So, I am asking you that the same charge can be applied to you also, no?
See, I just say yes, it can. If it has to be applied, it can be applied. Where and where, how it has to be. But I prefer calling a spade, okay? I do not beat around the bush. I am very vocal in what I say. But the thing is, see, what we have to look at is initially the 6 guarantees which were given by the Congress party, and when KCR started implementing his manifesto, when he has declared his manifesto, he has copied almost everything from there. So that means you're telling me 9 years he was in power, and he just thought of the gas cylinders and all everything right now. You are just thinking of things right now after the Congress party declaring. And see, the thing which is in common, what we are talking about in the common, that's a common man's requirement, and that's what Congress has done. The Congress didn't say they will not do it. Congress has said that they will do it. They also even committed to the really important issues. Real important issues were covered. But compared to, you look at the manifesto in detail. Actually, I have the full manifesto with me. The full manifesto, if you look at it in detail, we are much ahead than the BRS. The BRS is nowhere close to this. Every detail, because the manifesto is very much in detail. And let me tell you one thing. When we talk about belt shops, you know the amount of harassment that women have because of belt shops in these places, and how many number of belt shops, and how many people in the hospital admitted because of the belt shops. So Congress party has looked at it very carefully and taken a very, very stern stand on this. And I am telling you one thing for certain, you will see the women are going to come out in big numbers and back the Congress.
All right.
That
so that,
sure.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Roydin. I mean, we'll have to, the proof of the pudding and all that, we will see on 3rd of December when you and I shall once again be same place, and we will see how the women who have now outnumbered men in Telangana, because their issues remain the same, and but the thing is that how they have actually rewarded any of the party. Shujat Ali Sufi, if I can have you on the screen, sir, spokesperson of the TPCC. I want to ask you, Shujat Ali Sufi, look at it, look at the similarity. Mahalakshmi guarantee, 2,500 to, eligible women. BRS says, we will also hike it. Domestic cylinder at 500 rupees, they say 400 rupees. What really stands out for me in the manifesto released by the Congress today is the Bhumata portal. Talk a little about it. For me, what stands out is abolishing of belt shops. That stands out for me. Number two, this is just a cursory glance I have made. I will get a copy, or maybe you can send it to me, sir, online. And I can read it fully. But belt shops abolition stands out for me, and this Bhumata versus Dharani stands out for me. What will you achieve with this Dharani portal? Because when KCR had introduced the Dharani portal, it was with a great fanfare that we shall see to it that that everything, all the documents are in one place, it is more organized, there is a kind of protocol which is being followed. We will talk about the problems, of course, as we go along during this debate. But over to you, Shujat Ali Sufi Sahab, tell me what's so special about the Bhumata portal?
That will be decided which is a good one for the people. As far as the gas cylinder is concerned, our gas cylinder will be available for 500 rupees, whereas TRS gas cylinder will be available for 400. It is not for universal purpose. It is for selected people. So that has no appeal. That was actually they have copied our point. As far as that Dharani portal is concerned, there are a lot of drawbacks in that. So we wanted to have a perfect type of portal where it will help the people in maintaining their records. Here, there is no transfer.
Shujat Ali Saab, sorry, I am interjecting, but I want to ask you, how will you better it, Bhumata? Because see, in the Dharani portal with farmers, what was the problem? I am in possession of land, but I have no patta. Those were the problems. No record of where is it, and you'll also, no records of the farmer's name in the official documents. There are also cases that your name is missing, whereas you are getting all the. So you see, there is the thing is about being. So how will Bhumata improve on Dharani portal? Is my question to you, Shujat Ali Sufi Sahab. I think there is some. There he is.
We have given in a very clear fashion what is the difference between those two. Ours is a very much transparent scheme where there will be no malpractices. We want to reduce the malpractices of the present government. That's why we are bringing this new one.
All right. Let me come back to you, because I'll ask Roydin maybe in detail as to what the how will it be corrected, because this is a very important thing, because like I said, in the spot the differences, abolition of belt shops and Bhumata, instead of Dharani. Let me go to Mr. Prasad and also to Bhanuchandar first, opening remarks. Bhanuchandar, what do you think about this manifesto? For me, it is pretty much welfare, welfare, welfare all through. Even as KCR has said, no, we have enough money, we've done well, the budget, the coffers are not running empty. Congress so far has not spoken about, where they'll get the money from if they come to power. But do you think it should be just called Welfare Manifesto?
Good evening, Sudha and all my fellow panelists. See, I just want to take a bird's eye view of what is happening in India and sort of try to place this manifesto in the context of it. So right now, India is going through a very aspirational phase. We are going to be the third largest economy in the world soon, and so on and so forth. And I'm saying this because Telangana with Hyderabad is one of the prime movers of this this development, right? So on one hand, we talk about bullet trains, we talk about infrastructure, tea hub, so on and so forth. And there are a bunch of people who might be thinking, hey, what am I getting out of it? Okay, this is all great, but what exactly am I getting out of it? So I think Congress is trying, and even BRS for that matter, is trying to capture into that psychology of people and saying that we are going to like look at you in particular while those other things will continue to happen. And here what they have done is they have actually taken every section of people, like from women to the differently able to students and and farmers, and have taken everybody and addressed everybody's concerns in some way or the other. So that is how I see it. And this is also caused a method of juxtaposing one ideological way of looking at development through empowering, through, you don't want to call it freebies, but through welfareism, and another which is through inputs, like through guarantees, through infrastructure, through technology, and so on. So I think these two models of development are posed before the people. Like what you said, the Congress has tasted success in Karnataka by almost presenting the same template.
Yeah.
You know, we can quibble on the details, but the ideology and the method of delivering the promises are actually like presented in the same format. So I think we are yet to grasp this whole big psychology of how political parties are understanding this moment in time of our development. So I think this is in that context. Yeah, I'll discuss the details as we go forward.
All right. K.S. Prasad. Mr. Prasad, you know, one aspect of this manifesto which I would like to call the welfare document, because it's only welfare, gold for Tali, you know, this, that and the other. I mean, pretty much one can write a book on this actually. I'm thinking I should do that rather than be doing this show. You know, it will sell because everything I have heard of. It is not that it's unheard of. So, Mr. Prasad, I want you to particularly, first of all, your comment on how do these manifestos compare, or there is no comparison, it is just, you know, double role of a hero. One is quiet, the other is very aggressive. Remember Ram or Sham, those kind of movies. And also I want you to talk to me about Raita Bandhu, sir. I mean, where KCR has been criticized for Raita Bandhu a lot. He is saying the rich farmers keep making more money. Now he has increased that from 10 to 16,000 or something like that. Throw some light on that, but first your comment on the two manifestos, sir.
Good evening, ma'am, and good evening to the co-panelists. So nice to have you in your debate, because you already expressed on behalf of entire Telangana. Your voice is nothing but Telangana. Thank you very much, because the people, what they're thinking, absolutely are delivered. Instead of analyzing, we just need to follow you, that's it. Because these people, we might have heard about copywritings in the school days.
Yeah.
These people are simply following each other's trail, and end of the day, they believed on this particular welfare schemes, and they're just polishing it, just like a school student who polishes his shoes. Out of this, there is no rocket science. +1 and -2. This is what the people have done, and out of which they're anticipating more, just like votes fall like a rain shower on their head, and they form the governments and all. Whatever is happening, they have been tasted from the last 10 years as far as Telangana is concerned. And all of a sudden, other than the gold chain of 1 tula, what they added, what plus they added. And the failure of Karnataka might be, they have not delivered it as far as the free transportation is concerned. There are a lot of initial hiccups, whatever been they're saying, because from the last 4 years, 4 months itself, it has got implemented. So initial hiccups, what they're what they're saying about it. But it comes to the ground reality. Recently, we adopted the entire RTC into state government purview. And these are all the manifestos. They want to create some sort of, eye-washing situations. And with that, they want to grab a lot of votes. As far as Congress is concerned, from the day one of their initial days itself, they are with the, what you call, all sort of welfare schemes. They are the innovators, actually. Out of which, there is no much treasure hunt as far as welfare schemes are concerned.
Right.
People who are following his tail, and they want to wag the tails according to their whims and fancies right now. This is the first ever time in the history of manifestos. The gold chain concept has recently adopted by Congress. Already Kalyan Lakshmi and whatever the
Shadi Mubarak.
Wedding, Shadi Mubarak, for which they are just added 1 tula of gold.
Yeah.
But they are forgetting that yielding abilities and what you call the people, for the sake of, if somebody yields, The Telangana people will never yield for certain things. There have been, there is a word called in Telugu, they have been continuously mosapotone unnadu. I mean, they have been ditched from the years together as far as Congress is concerned. Finally, with lot of sacrifices by the human beings, then they have given the state. And they are owning now, we have given the Telangana state.
Yeah, okay.
It's quite unfortunate. If I really see the left-hand side of my life, there are a lot of people who are died for my Telangana sake. And today, they're smartly giving 250 square yards for their
that is also something which is, Mr. Prasad, a very unique thing that they have done. And I think, which I will reserve that question for perhaps Banu Chandar or Mr. Sufi, but let me now go back to Roydin. Roydin, I want you to explain, you say, like Sufi Saab said, all the malpractices from Dharani which happened, because Dharani, apart from everything else, much like Raitu Bandhu, Dalita Bandhu of KCR, the delivery was a problem. You have spoken on my show about how the bureaucrats were not, aligned. People had to run from pillar to post. These farmers had to. Tell me, how will Bhumata help over Dharani?
Okay, let me explain to you about Dharani, what's happening in Dharani. For instance, the people who have sold their land, sold their properties also,
right,
their names are coming back into the system, and the people who bought the property is suffering. And for that to be even changed, I have many of the instances which I can even prove to you all that people who had the issue at the implementation of the Dharani portal, even till date, as in we stand and talking now, people have been running pillar to post to get it done. Because these things cannot be done at the level of even collector. Right. It has to go to one level higher. And this is the problem of the administration, that they can't handle the pressure and can't handle the situation, and people have run around. So why will I buy a property, okay, and after go and pay again advocate fee to fight and get back my property? Isn't that stupidness?
Yeah, but how will you? I still am not. No, boss, Roydin, I'm not getting an answer. As to how will you improve
I'm coming. No, Mr. I'm coming to it. Coming. These things, the Congress party clearly mentions that they are going to redo the entire system. The way the process, where it will be a very easy access process, the land survey will be done, and each one will be done immediately, and that will be done across, within the presence of the people. It's not that you go, do a land survey and start changing over the details of the person without even the person knowing about it.
Right.
Now, for example, even certain property which I know about, has been changed when the person is in position. It has gone back to a person who sold it to about 3 times ago. It's changed 3 hands, and now it is coming back, and this person doesn't have any clue about that owner also. So how will he even know about it?
Right.
And I tell you, 1 minute. There are a lot of lands that are there which have been taken away on illegal names. Okay, there's heavy malpractice on it, heavy corruption.
Right.
Lands have been taken away and people are being fooled.
Right. Mr. Sufi, if I can come to you, Mr. Jadji, I want to ask you that what is this entire idea behind? Of course, there is a sociological thing about abolishing belt shops, which you have said in your manifesto. I am only speaking about things which are standing out. For instance, what also stands out is the Asara pension, Now, under the Cheyuta scheme, you are giving 4,000 rupees per month or something, but BRS is again made it 5,000 rupees in the, according to the Asara pension. Now, 1000 रुपये इधर उधर से कुछ खास होता नहीं है, आपके बजट में फ़र्क पड़ सकता है, लेकिन जिसके पास आ रहा है. But I am very interested in the belt shops, that what will you achieve by kind of banning these belt shops? I'll tell you something. In Tamil Nadu, your party is in alliance with Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, and you see what happens in Tasmac there. You have double standards, sir, but I will not pin you down about Tamil Nadu. Let me ask you, मंशा क्या है बेल्ट शॉप्स अबॉलिश करने के पीछे?
देखिए, आपका जो डिस्कशन है वो वन साइडेड जा रहा है. हमारा मैनिफेस्टो आपके सामने आया है, तो हमने बहुत चीजों पर, बहुत से मुद्दों पर गौर किया, हर एक पॉइंट पर गौर किया. करने के बाद लोगों से फीडबैक लिया, लेने के बाद हमने अपना मैनिफेस्टो बनाया. मैनिफेस्टो जो बनाया गया है वो ग्रास रूट से लाया गया है. तो हमको ये फीडबैक मिला कि बेल्ट शॉप से जो है बहुत से नुकसान हो रहे हैं. लोग जो है गलत ढंग से बिजनेस कर रहे हैं, सिस्टमेटिक जो है उसको करना चाहिए था, वो हम कर रहे हैं।
जी।
तो और हर स्टेट में अलग अलग काम होता है, अलग अलग जरूरियात होती है। तमिलनाडु में जो हो रहा है वो अलग वहां का मामला है, यहाँ जो होने वाला है यहाँ का मामला है। और जहां तक सवाल आपने अपने इंट्रो में ये कहा था कि रोड़ी बांटी जा रही है, वेलफेयर स्टेट्स में लोगों को सहूलत देना, लोगों की जो है इकोनॉमिकल पोजीशन को स्ट्रांग
सुजात अली
करना,
साहब,
ये
मैं
तो
आपको
सरकार का
दोष,
फर्ज होता है।
सुजात अली साहब, I said I am against
जी
the word रेवड़ी. My friends on the panel who come on debates will tell you I am a South Indian. मुझे रेवड़ी शब्द से सख्त नफरत है। हम साउथ के
मुझे
हैं
भी नफरत
ये
है।
जी।
नहीं नहीं
तो
नहीं
आपने गलत
नहीं
सुना।
नहीं
खैर
मुझे
खैर खैर सर आंखों
नहीं
पर
नहीं
आपने मुझे कहा
सुनिए सुनिए
तो ठीक है। नहीं,
नहीं नहीं
आपने
आप
सुना दिया, लेकिन आप ये बताइए कि बेल्ट शॉप्स में ऑफ कोर्स इट्स अ सोशियोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम, but I will come to you about what they say we generate. It's a revenue generating kind of a cash cow. तो उस पर भी बात होगी. I'll just come back to you. Let me go to Mr. Prasad. Sorry, to Bhanuchandar. Bhanuchandar, tell me something that how do you see this entire thing about 250 square yard houses for all Telangana movement, participants, fighters. I know that KCR is trying to, the Congress part, KCR is trying to pip them. Congress is also trying to triumph them, to say, acha, you can do. But, I find it like, is it because a lot of people who left the BRS have also left saying, I was also part of the Telangana movement. But today it seems like this entire family has taken over it and kind of ostracized it. Do you think that is the reason? Because it's a very unique thing in the Congress manifesto.
Yeah, that's a great observation, Sudha. Like of the 6 guarantees, what stood out to me was one was this. I think this was born out of more guilt than anything. I don't know why they want to remind people about what happened 10 years ago, but nevertheless, they have had it done. And second is the first point where they are trying to woo women.
Yeah.
I think women have become the center of Indian politics now in terms of being wooed by all parties everywhere in all states, which is a great thing. So I think among the many promises that are made, there are like a mix of everything. For example, if you take the units of electricity, the 200 free units, that is a welfare measure. Okay, you don't want to use the word freebies, but I think the Mangal Sutra, the gold business is freebies. Okay, and there is a substantial difference. One is good and other is bad, according to me. If I have to have a value judgment on it, so I think there is a mix of everything. And one thing I really find good about the previous points made was the argument about which land record system is the best. Okay, which is good because the land record system, if sorted out, it's a great source of empowerment for farmers, and they can actually take loans based on that, and so on and so forth. So I think it's a fantastic thing that two parties are fighting on that, and I think it is something good that will come out of it when implemented properly. I want to end by saying one point. See, if you look at the FRBM Act, okay, it says that the state debt to GDP ratio cannot be more than 20% for a state, right?
Sure.
So right now, Telangana is 28.2. Okay, so they are far above the limit. So I don't know how they are going to implement all of this and still keep it under control. And this is a problem all over India. I think some point the economists and thinking heads have to come together to look at it. But nevertheless, I just want to throw this number that currently it is at 28.2, which is like 8.2% more than the limit allowed by FRB.
Mr. Prasad, let me come to you. Mr. Prasad, the thing is that every election is fought on, I will give OBC so much, I will give minorities so much. Particularly if you look at KCR Garu, he's done this micromanagement for years now. Brahmin Bhavan, Adivasi Bhavan, Christian Bhavan, this Bhavan, that Bhavan, Banjara Bhavan, Lambada Bhavan. He's not left any community, in Telangana. See, look at the dichotomy of it. For the benefit of the viewers, considering you're a senior journalist, there are two things. One is, everyone seems to be voting according to the caste matrix. I am X caste, so I will vote for a candidate who's from my caste. But on the other hand, the manifesto, do you think manifestos really make a difference for people? Or would you like to segregate it between rural voter and urban voter, sir?
In the last debate, we discussed about this, and it is very clear and evident that for the sake of upliftment, these sort of bhavans and all being given to the respective communities. And end of the day, I really agree with Bhanu as far as the FRBM limits and other things are concerned. And apart from this, the state purview is concerned for the sake of belt shops. If they won't restrict, the revenue from liquor will not be generated so anonymously. Today, the liquor policy in state and as far as other policies of RTA and registrations and municipal taxes, only 5, including petrol. These 5 are the state purview. The rest all falls under the GST. So out of these 5 only, they can generate revenue, for which they are concentrating more on belt shops. If they close us, there will be a lot of liquor shops around the state, and so that the revenue will come to the state Khajana. And as you said, the bhavans and community-wise, it's for the sake of elections before, it may be a stunt from the respective parties. But for the sake of voting pattern will not be on the caste basis, because the candidate will be one, he belongs to one of the caste, not belongs to the all caste. So he has to convince all the people around in the respective consistency, and he has to make his ability, and he has to prove his
okay, Mr. Prasad, but do you think manifestos are important documents, or it's a habit? Who's reading the manifesto? Who's holding you down to the manifesto?
From the respective parties. It's a weakness from the respective parties, because it's only for eyewash. They will not fall just before the elections. They say all sort of things like Bible, Quran, and Bhagavad Gita. But when it comes to the execution, every time they'll fall short of implementations as far as the promises what they made across, and they'll take decisions according to their whims and fancies, and all of a sudden certain things will fall in line, and they'll pick according to their convenience. And they say that out of the box we did so many things for the sake of people. But end of the day, they only collect taxes, and somebody's tunes they'll implement, and those tunes, all the middle class and above classes has to play those dances, and then only the successful government will continue.
Shujat Ali Saab, you wanted to respond. Do you? Please go ahead, sir.
I wanted to tell that the manifestos are very important documents. Today, in the entire Telangana, people are discussing about the manifestos. They are comparing the manifestos. It is not an eyewash, because tomorrow people will ask, you have promised in your manifesto this thing you will be given, going to give, and you are not giving. It will be a very important document. It cannot be taken so easy.
Shujat Ali Saab, if one had to remind political parties about the promises they have broken, the manifesto will be from the floor to the ceiling of my studio. No point. We've all seen many elections come and go, many leaders come and go. No, it's a document. There is a habit. You've done it. I am also discussing manifesto, na, Sufi Saab. मैं ये नहीं कह रही कि डिस्कशन मत कीजिए, लेकिन जो वायदे किए जाते हैं उनको ऐसे भूला भी जाता है. Roydin Roach, I want to come to you. Roydin Roach, you want to make a point about the belt shops and the revenue angle, because like I said, that is the one thing. The other thing I want to ask you is, if the Congress is promising, you know, so much of land to build homes for those who fought for the Telangana movement, what if that person is now in the BRS? I mean, who does it actually extend to? Does it extend to everybody? Is there a blanket kind of an offer?
Okay, there are 3 points I would like to make.
Sure.
First is, I would like to speak about the manifestos. Okay, the first thing is, I would like to have something, a law in place where a manifesto is created. It's a promissory note. We should understand that it's a promissory note, and there should be a law which is there. If the government doesn't implement their manifestos, they should be penalized. They should be penalized very badly, because you're fooling the people. If you don't implement your manifesto, you're fooling the people. So let's be very frank on that. It's not a question of any party. I'm not about whether it can be the Congress, the BRS, the BJP, any party. If a manifesto is given, you're promising the people and you're taking their vote, which is the most valuable thing for a person under the Constitution. So I think we need to look into that, where a serious and severe act is brought in place.
All right.
Regarding belt shops, let me tell you about belt shops. See, I'm also a part where we are tour in rural areas and all villages and all, where we have, because we have work, we have projects all happening. I have seen the number of people after belt shops being increased, how many of them the women are running to the hospitals every day because of their husbands. The amount of alcohol, because it's free flow, you get it any part of the night, even night, 4 in the morning you get it. You get it 4 in the morning also. Okay. So I don't understand why is that we are encouraging the belt shops. Okay, when you talk about if somebody wants to drink, there's a limitation for it, there's a time duration. That we have to understand that. And the people in the rural area don't understand that. And there you see many of them, how many widows, nowadays how many widows because of alcohol, how many widows? You visit the hospitals. Today we talk about special treatment for kidney. The reason why is that been implemented? Why is that been put forward?
Sir, that's all okay. I agree with whatever you're saying, okay. Roydin. But so, the point is that what about, I mean, how will it, like Mr. Prasad explained, that more shops will perhaps open? Don't you think by saying total ban of belt shops, what does it mean? I mean, how do you generate revenue then?
A belt shop is an illegal shop. Let me tell you, it's not a licensed shop. It's an illegal shop. So you're telling me if you're telling me if I grow ganja in my back door, you're telling me I can sell it across the counter?
I didn't mean that.
No, but I'm not trying to point it to you. But I'm saying as an example. As an example, if I grow ganja in my backyard, you think I can sell it across the counter?
You know,
no, it's not. It's
the
illegal.
larger, see, Roydin, let me add that when you talk about prohibition, there are illegal liquor shops which come up. You know, I know, we know what's happening in Bihar, what's been happening even in Gujarat. No, we all know as journalists. But sir, the thing is, if you shut the belt shops, more spurious liquor will come up, and also livelihood is lost. I know it's bad. Selling cigarettes is bad. But we know all the argument, right? Though I was just asking you that by banning it, if there is any plan to do what what do you plan to do? Please come to the point of giving money, I mean giving homes or plots rather for those who fought for Telangana. Will it also include, is it a blanket kind of an offer, sir?
See, one more thing, let me make it very clear. That's the reason we are telling the people of Telangana today. We are telling the people of Telangana to understand that Congress is going to be generous to everyone, irrelevant which party you belong to.
All right.
But I have seen in the BRS, very evident, it was very evident when I was there, we've seen it, that people who belong to the BRS were given all the preferences, the Dalit Bandhus were given to the people who were in the BRS, the houses were in the BRS, any scheme that's pertaining is being given to the people who are from the BRS, which is not right, which is not at all right. Okay, even when I was there in the party also, I raised my voice to a couple of ministers and asked them, why is it that we do this to the people? Are you not trying to gain the hearts of people who vote against you? Can't you do that? No, they do not want to do it. Why they want to butter the
all right, okay. I was waiting for you to make a point about the houses, but then I'll come back to you. Mr. Prasad, I want to ask you, look at the manifestos. Now, because of their win in Karnataka and based on the 5 guarantees, the Congress is really, I mean, it's supposed to be flying high, doing rather well. In Telangana, they say 6 guarantees. They've bettered on Karnataka. Now, if you look at it's a very, it's a very strange conundrum. KCR is seen to be welfare Raja. He's always done it. After the entire pride of the Telangana movement, I was responsible. Now, after that, he only relied on welfare schemes for the people. You know, what does one do? Because look at it. I mean, the Congress has done it now. KCR has been doing it from day one. How does anyone make an informed decision is my question to you, Mr. Prasad.
No, it's very simple. Once we formed Telangana as a state, and the first thing what KCR is identified is upliftment of the entire Telangana. Other than these welfare schemes, nothing can be done. This is the only alternative left for us. And so when we started, more than 1,57 lakhs people are being taking all sort of welfare from respect to Telangana. It's obvious over a period of time, this upliftment, it is just following the footsteps of Congress. What Congress used to do from years together, the same thing, he's been doing it. And now it comes to this, in the Congress manifesto, they clearly said about 250 square yards for the people who fought for Telangana aspiration. Yeah. We are very clear. Did they have the statistics? And why they have not fought for all these years with respect to BRS government? This is what the original statistics of the people, instead of giving 250 square yards, why can't they give at least double bedroom house? Why can't they opted for a good 500 square yards? All these 10 years they have been slept. And today they are smartly woken up, and for the sake of elections, they are declaring all sort of freebies to the people around.
Yeah, let's
These are
not
the
talk
people-
about, yeah, Mr. Prasad, but homes is a very kind of a, a controversial topic. Those 2 BHK homes of announced by KCR Garu, and now I find
I'm not
this.
denying it.
No, I find this entire plot giving very, very strange. How will they do it? That's my entire question, but as of now, I've completely run out of time. So, my thanks are due to Shujat Ali Sufi Saab. Thank you so much, sir. Roydin Roach, such a pleasure. Bhanuchandar Nagarajan, as always, it was wonderful. And KS Prasad, it is so nice, that someone can question everything much like what I do. Thank you very much, Prasad, for joining us on the debate. Thank you indeed. Favorite topic, because it focuses on women, and I think in the media as well, I mean, we need to focus more on gender issues, because that's what really matters. 2 stories, and both focusing on women in South India and the way they should dress. How long do we have to hear about what should we wear and what should we not wear? I hope it completely changes sometime. The first is from Karnataka, where the hijab had snowballed into a huge controversy, with the then ruling BJP connecting the wearing of hijab by girl students with asserting their religiosity. The erstwhile Bombay government in the state had banned the hijab in educational institutions, leading to widespread protest, outrage and severe uncertainty for students. I remember some of those girl students had to sit outside class because of all the hullabaloo which was going on. Now, leaders from political parties protested and raised the banner of why should the government interfere in the way Muslim students are supposed to dress. For instance, National Conference leader Omar Abdullah asked Congress leaders Mallikarjun Kharge, Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi to work on revoking the BJP's government's hijab ban.
जो कर्नाटक में हुआ वो गलत हुआ, और वो सिर्फ मुसलमानों के लिए गलत नहीं हुआ, सरदारों के लिए भी गलत हुआ। आप मुझे बताइए ना, आप ये ऑर्डर कैसे जारी करेंगे सरदार बच्चों के खिलाफ? क्या उनके पगड़ी उतारेंगे आप? बताएं मुझे, क्योंकि इसमें कहा हुआ है कि आप सिर ढक नहीं सकते, आप अपने कान जो है कवर नहीं कर सकते, कोई हेडगियर नहीं होना चाहिए। क्या कर्नाटक में कोई सरदार बच्चा जो है वो अब इम्तिहान नहीं दे सकेगा? हमारी बच्चियों के साथ तो ये कर्नाटक में पहली बार नहीं हुआ है, और हुकूमत ने कहा ये सिर्फ हिजाब के बारे में नहीं है। ठीक है, नहीं है। सरदार बच्चे क्या करेंगे? क्या उनकी पगड़ी उतारोगे आप इलेक्शन ये एग्जामिनेशन सेंटर में अंदर जाने के से पहले? बताएं ना। ये हमने किसी पार्टी को निशाना नहीं बनाया, हम उस ऑर्डर के खिलाफ हैं। अगर कांग्रेस हुकूमत कर रही है, अगर निशाना उन पर पड़ता है तो मैं उसके लिए माफी नहीं मांगूंगा।
There was much confusion, about whether the hijab was banned or not in Karnataka, because first came the statement, or perhaps what was inferred from the Karnataka Examination Authority, that it had banned any kind of head cover during exams for boards and corporations. That's exactly what Omar Abdullah was saying, covering of heads and also ears. But later, Higher Education Minister MC Sudhakar came out with a clarification, and he said, and I am quoting him, the new rules were being misinterpreted and did not have a goal other than to curb malpractices during such exams, such as cheating using Bluetooth devices. The Karnataka government has noted that there is no ban on hijabs at government board and corporations recruitment examination. So, what's the deal now? It's like this, I'll tell you. Hijab can be worn by students appearing for examination to several boards and corporations but with a rider. These students have to be present in examination halls 2 hours in advance to facilitate thorough inspection. According to the release, candidates will be subjected to inspection to ensure a free and fair examination process. You know, in an earlier press release, that KEA had released a dress code that wearing a hat or any clothing covering the mouth, ears and head won't be allowed, but it permitted women to wear the Mangal Sutra and also toe rings for the exam. It may be recalled that in the first week of November, a candidate in Kalaburgi was asked to remove all her jewelry including her Mangal Sutra during the exam for junior assistant post in audits and accounts department, and there was a huge controversy about it, because I understand it's something very personal to a married woman, even unmarried woman, if she wants to wear a Mangal Sutra. Fair enough. If the KEA wants to check malpractices during exams, then sure, they can check any candidate who is covering the head and ears, etc. But 2 hours before the exams begin? Seriously? Well, they can turn around and tell me, the South Indian, it takes that much time because of the number of candidates. Okay, then have a faster system, no? Of frisking, hijab wearing girl students. Why should anyone be made to go through this, coming to the examination hall 2 hours in advance? Imagine, some of the examination halls are already 20 to 25 kilometers away from their homes. I think it's like being singled out. If I wore the hijab, I would really feel that they are singling me out. Now, the second story. It's about governments deciding again on how women should dress, and this is from Tamil Nadu's Karur district. Teachers in government schools and colleges have been told to wear only saris when they are teaching in class, although this is wrong from every possible angle. But also, let us get real, teachers in Tamil Nadu won't ever wear anything which isn't acceptable to the students. I am a Tamil, I have seen, you know, teachers in government schools, they are wearing saris or anything which is most, according to what you are policing me, acceptable. I mean, you know, even if they are not wearing something, they will be other than a sari, they will be sure that it is like acceptable. Now, only sari mandate goes against a government order also. There is no government order that allows teachers to offer comfortable clothing. I will tell you what the government order says, you will be surprised. It says, and I am quoting it, government servants are required to wear neat, clean, formal attire that is appropriate to the workplace setting, so as to maintain the decorum of the office while in duty, like sari or salwar kameez or chudidar with dupatta in the case of female government servant. There you have it. Then, you know, don't you wonder where did this sari diktat come from? Because in the district, most government or municipal corporation institutes seem to have formed their own rules. The district education officer is supposed to act in such matters, that why you stopping this woman if she comes dressed in salwar kameez or chudidar kameez. But I wonder where is he or she is missing in action. Many sources told me when I called them how the entire sari only mandate for teachers was some kind of moral policing. I told you, as if students will go wayward if a student wore salwar kameez or chudidar kameez. Most ridiculous, an example of how men are always deciding for women what they should wear, what they should eat, and also what they vote for. Defy them. As long as we are in the limitations of what is called decent behavior, I think no one should stop us. And on that defiant note, this South Indian says, Vanakkam. Thank you for watching.